Welcome to
Penguin
Worldwide Podcast.
Wah!
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Penguin Worldwide Reviews. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
Wah!
All right, so we just saw Thunderbolts.
Yes, Daniel. Why don't you
Asterisk.
Asterisk. Why don't you give us a little recap of that movie there?
All right. It's a pretty solid, quick movie. It seems like, at least structurally. So it's just about this new group, all kind of like ex like heroes or ex assassins and anti-heroes, basically a group of misfits, and they're all kind of in a way sentenced to die by Valentina.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
Yeah, go with that.
And she's trying to get rid of like all of these, trying to get rid of all of them. So she, has a setup for them all to meet up in this base, basically, and they're all like looking for each other. So they're all gonna fight each other to the death. Basically, it's like their mission to kill one another. So, that's kind of where it heads off, and then these they kind of catch on to what's going on, and they realize that it was a setup, and now they kind of have to work together. They have to formulate somewhat of a team to escape, and yeah, that leads on to the rest of the movie, kind of them just trying to settle their differences and work together. And all these characters are pretty well written and everything, and they're all in a sense they're all kind of a secondary or background characters from previous movies, so they all get a chance to shine here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's just quickly, what's your general takeaway from this movie? Would you walk out of there thinking, what kind of shape do you think the Marvel universe is in, just right off the bat, right off the rip?
Rip. Yeah, it seems like they're definitely trying to change it around to have a new start and everything. Obviously, with like the Captain America movie that we saw early in the year, that was, segueing into the new era of Marvel. So this was kind of trying to, sell us more onto that aspect of it.
Right.
And the takeaway, I think it was good. It was a lot different. This was generally way more into different types of I guess like more morals and stuff in this one, and like the ending themes of the movie and like what it was based around. Right. It's stuff that isn't really explored a lot in Marvel, at least before. It may be a little bit here and there, but this was like really heavy into depression and loneliness and stuff like that. And
yeah, it was really story driven. Like the whole movie, like it's relying on telling this story, and I think they did a good job of that. For sure, because like a lot of the other things kind of rely on action and other set pieces to carry the movie, and I think this one they were just focused on, the tragedy of all the characters and dealing with that. So yeah, I think right there with you, like that was, like you could tell that there was a different focus on this movie than others, and if that's their new direction, it could lead to a lot of interesting stories being told.
Yeah, I think like they know that it's like really hard to match what they've made before, so that they have to change it, and instead of trying to like just make another great series of movie like the Avengers, for example, they're not gonna be able to copy it exactly. So taking different directions is a good idea, and I was into it. Like it definitely was different seeing a less action oriented like movie like this, like a Marvel movie, but I was pretty captivated by the story for the most part, and all the characters did a pretty good job as well. So,
Speaking of characters, let's get into a couple of them. So let's say Elena was probably the main character. Like the whole story revolves around her. I think she's the anchor to the whole new team here. And what did you think of her? How did she do? She was the sister to the Black Widow. And then in that movie, their standalone Black Widow movie, she's also like a main piece in that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I missed a little bit of that. Okay.
She was there with Scarlett Johansson. They were still, had her around, and so yeah, she got a little spotlight in this one for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you think she did?
I think she did pretty well. I liked her character a lot. there were some things I didn't like. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later if we go into spoilers. But yeah, I think overall she did a good job. I think that she was way more human in this. Like at least her character was portrayed like more as like sympathetic or empathetic, and yeah, kind of like she was real down to earth. It seemed like, unlike a lot of the other heroes.
What about her fighting technique style? Any of that? Does that ring for you?
It didn't. It didn't. You know, like they kind of make poke fun at their like abilities and everything. Like, oh, I punch people, you know, and that's just kind of what she is as well. Just another like super hand to hand combat, you know, specialist. So yeah, you know, she kicked ass a lot, but it's just kind of the same, just fighting. Yeah, she didn't have too many fights overall, but yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, I think she had a good little intro where she's whooping people's asses and like just casually, just beating people up, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And she had a good little moment there, and like I bought it. I felt like she could get things done more so than like the Black Widow in the the other cats in the Captain
right.
Yeah, that one was kind of like what, and then this one's like I kind of believe it. So I don't know what she did different. Because they're both like smaller women, but I don't know. She looked legit in this one, I think.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. I think she did all right. Let's see. We're going to move on to the Crimson Guard. Did I get it right?
Crimson Guardian.
Guardian. There you go.
Yeah.
Crimson Guardian.
So he is actually Elena's father. And yeah, he was more of like a comic relief character, because he was just always like happy, like a lot of his whole thing was him just being the light of the team basically. So it was cool to have him. I think he was really funny.
He was like the heart and the coach of the team, bringing everyone back like from the edge, or bringing her back for sure.
I feel like if you enjoy dad humor, then you'll love this guy.
He's very much the dad of the group.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's just like that much more funny because he has like the super serum, I guess, in him. So he's so he's just like a.
Oh yeah, we got a couple of super soldier serum people. We got him. We had Bucky.
And then we had Walker, John Walker, the former Captain America, who's very short-lived in that title. If you watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier,
something flew over my head in the movie. They're like, "Oh, he killed someone out in public." Is that in that show? Got someone killed.
He might. I don't remember exactly, but you could tell by the way he was portrayed here. Like, he doesn't care a lot of the time. He was kind of like. The whole thing with Steve Rogers before is that he's like a pure person, you know. And the big thing is like they wanted to choose him specifically for the super serum is that he cared more about just protecting others, and like he didn't fall for like all the fame. Even there was like times where it happened, but that wasn't his main objective. So so he was kind of the inverse of that. Like, what happens when you get like a guy that doesn't care? Like, he's more like selfish and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's like his story and his thing, and he gets into fights with Bucky and Sam in the show as well. So I was actually pretty surprised that Bucky pulled up and they were kind of chill for a little bit. So yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And him and Sam didn't get along at all.
No,
that's gonna probably play a role down the line. Yeah, because they're kind of like pitting these teams up against each other, or they show like they're going to maybe collide in the future, which is cool. And then who else we had there? We had Ghost.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about Ghost, because I had zero intel on this character.
Yeah, she's in the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she's the bad guy. She can phase through stuff. You've seen her in action, so you kind of know what she does. And then she had just a sad story too. She's kind of like forced into the life, kind of like the Black Widow people. Like, I don't know, they just end up like on assassins. The wrong side. Yeah, she ended up like with terrorist kind of.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she kind of just has a bad past too. Who else? Do we
Bucky,
have?
who came back. He's always in these movies. Like I feel like Bucky's the most like reoccurring character
been
now
in
in
a
this.
lot, yeah.
He's always
He's just
there.
hanging out. Yeah.
And yeah, he's cool. He always has an impact because he's one of the last remaining actual Avengers. So you feel like they kind of need him to be around to kind of like almost be like a mentor in a sense, but like also he's been there through it all and been doing it for so long that
He's such a through line with all those people too, like with Captain America and Sam. Yeah, he's all there. It's just there all over the place.
Yeah.
With all of them. So yeah, it makes sense that he's in a lot of them, and I think he does a good job. I don't know. They made him try to look like a just straight up badass in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like cool.
Yeah.
With sunglasses on. And stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's cool. He kicks ass. So sure.
Mm-hmm.
I fell for it. You're like, all right, he's cool.
And then last but not least, we had a I guess new character, Bob, aka the Sentry, aka we'll save that for later.
Right.
But yeah,
he's kind of like an experiment that was left over.
Mm-hmm. He was in the vault, I guess, where they all got put to destroy each other. He was there, and they didn't know why he was there. Like he's just a guy that's experimented on, and he didn't even know what he was doing there. So, but yeah, he comes off as just like a kind of like a more like struggling mentally character. Like he, you could tell he was like depressed, like low confidence, kind of.
Yeah, and his mind's fractured. He doesn't remember
Right.
his past, and yeah, so he definitely had things going.
Yeah, he's going through it. Like everything was just So, and his character. What do you think of his character overall?
It's kind of like if you gave Eeyore superpowers. It's like, I might as well just die. Like, no, come on, we'll get you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, a little bit like that. But yeah, I thought he was all right. The journey with his character was like, I get it. It made sense, like for that character, and made a good story, I think. So yeah, I'm right there with that. That was cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a movie about it, it works.
Right.
You can make it a lot worse.
You think he was like a suitable like second main character? Because I feel like that he really did have this.
He did share that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so. Because he helps people explore their own problems. So yeah, I think he does. Like he also helps like reflect, the internal image of the characters, stuff they don't deal with, but it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important.
All right.
It's a good way into that storyline. All right. Any particular moments? Did anything stand out to you, either good or bad?
Let's see. I do have a couple bad, but I was trying to think if there's anything that was really good that stood out to me. Other than like the art direction of where this movie took, like kind of strayed towards like being a more like commentary, more like on mental illness and stuff like that, and depression and loneliness. Right. That was cool. I think that stood out because that was, that was like the whole thing. So I feel like it was cool. It explores like a lot of the psychology of every character, because every character will tell you that their life sucks, and it's always like a competition to see whose is worse, honestly. It was cool. Just nobody. It shows that not even heroes are like perfect, or not even like these superheroes, super meta humans, anything like that. It's all tragic. So
yeah, and how them coming together is really what saves them. Like, so that was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah,
like, and not doing it alone.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Moment wise, let's see. I think there's some good comedy with them, like escaping that, vault and the bunker kind of thing. I think that was good. Like they're still not sure how to trust each other yet, and they're coming up with like, I don't know if you ever played like D&D, and you have to come up with a plan with a group of people, and you're like, oh my god, this person just does whatever they want. They they don't follow the plan. They just a wild card. Everyone's a wild card, so it's like, oh my god,
right?
Who can we trust? But yeah, they all came through for each other in the moment, I guess.
Yeah, the beginning started off really strong, especially with, like, having to force them to, like, collaborate because you know all these characters can't trust each other. They're just trying to kill each other a minute ago. So yeah.
So yeah, they had a team building moment.
I think the chemistry of all the characters meshed really well, surprisingly too. I didn't think, you know, that it would juggle it all that well, but no, it was great.
Yeah, so early on, for sure, that was a good early moment there. Trying to think of bad moments like that stuck out as bad. I mean, I think they're just kind of slower, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what was bad. Do you have a bad one?
There's some bad things, yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear what you were.
All right, so there's a kind of like a moment where Yelena's kind of crashing out, I guess you could say. She's kind of like, you know, at wit's end at this point, and she's kind of giving up, and then you know, her dad is trying to console her, and she goes off saying like, you know, you weren't there, and you weren't here to help me or anything like that, but he only hadn't seen her for a year. I don't know if that was like some mistranslation, like maybe it was longer than that, but like
I think it was right after Black Widow had died, though.
Okay.
It was her sister.
All right. Okay.
She would have liked to have someone nearby that's family.
All right.
Help her deal with it. I think that's what I took away from that moment, but.
Because yeah, it just seemed like the whole time it was just. I don't know, like
it's like, why don't you fight first and then deal with it?
Yeah, or just like, you know, it just seems so out of the blue, like especially if she's like, you know, this tough assassin, you know, they're trained to not have like these feelings sometimes. But I mean, I guess that just does a good job for the character, like her acting wise made it look as actually impactful. But I was just kind of like, oh really? This is happening right now? And it was only a year. It wasn't even like, you know, some people don't have their dads. So it's like, I don't know. But that seemed kind of to pull me out a little bit was that moment.
Right.
There were some other like small pacing things, especially for like one of the villains is like training one of them. And like, you know, all of a sudden, like he's just getting accustomed to his powers and then he's immediately like full in control. I feel like, I mean, maybe there's like a little bit of a time jump there, but it seemed like just quick, and I don't know. There's a lot of like moments like that where it's like the present and then it jumps and everything that was supposed to be like in between there kind of got just skipped. But I don't know. It's a long movie, so they probably had to like, you know, do that sometimes, but I don't know. There's a lot of like little things like that in the story or like character development things that I just kind of didn't agree with or just didn't see the right way.
Okay, I can
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Shoot.
Did you not like anything?
Some of the political like hearing stuff took something out. Like, I was just like, all right. Like, I guess it's not even a big part of it, but just like every time I see any like political stuff, I just roll my eyes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing anything about it.
Yeah, that's like one thing that also stays in these movies. Is just there's always something with politics or.
And it's not even like saying anything. Either,
no,
but it's just like
it's just there.
Yeah, it's like shut up. It's not even you're not even gonna focus on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw it away at the end. So
yeah, I super agree with that. So now they brought it up, and like, yeah, that's like always here. There's always something going on.
It's like if you spent 10 minutes on it, you spent like 8 minutes too long. It's like let's get to the real story.
Right.
But I don't know. Like that's just I think me personally. I'm sick of hearing anything political. And then let's see. Any characters didn't do it for you? Because as advertised, Taskmaster was supposed to be in this movie. And I don't want to spoil anything.
Right.
But not in the movie for very long.
You feel like it lied to you about that?
A little bit, yeah. I'm not a super fan, but I realize that it's kind of a main.
Yeah, and kind of knowing like Taskmaster a little bit, like in the universe, it should never like
shouldn't go down.
Yeah, it should never find a way to fall in any situation. So I don't know.
Right. I don't know. Just that. Everyone else kind of did fine. I don't know. There was no complaints really, like for the other characters, but
yeah,
that would be my only problem.
What'd you think of the? This is one character we forgot. I guess she's technically in there, like the assistant.
Okay. She reminded me of the assistant, like in the Sonic movies.
Oh, yeah,
but not as like in love with their boss,
right?
But just kind of like, oh hi, like kind of bubbly and happy, and it's like okay,
yeah.
But yeah, fine, no problems there.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? Oh, quite you brought her up.
I know. I just remembered. She was kind of cool because like she was kind of just the kind of like, you know, like there's always like that in media. There's like an angel, like a devil on a shoulder. And she was kind of like the angel one.
Yeah,
always kind of like, hey, let's not like. Well, you think you sure is a good idea? Like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like,
yeah,
and like. Yeah, just kind of being able to foresee all like all right, yeah, this person's definitely tweaking. Like, I don't know if we can trust this. Yeah. And just she warns the other like people, and and she's going out to reach out to others and be like, yeah, they're doing something suspicious. Like, you might want to, check this out. So, she had that vital role there, and I think she was funny. Yeah. So
she was funny.
Mm-hmm. Worth mentioning. Yeah.
Good, you brought her up. She did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get on to our reviews of this movie.
All right.
You can believe it already.
Yeah.
All right, what are you thinking?
I got mine. I got it. It's a 7.8.
7.8 for Daniel.
Yeah.
All right,
7.8. Yep.
Counted up.
Pretty good. Yeah, I had a lot of characters. Made me appreciate a lot of them more, especially like John Walker, the Captain. Can't call him Captain America because he's just like a super soldier.
Yeah.
But like it honestly sold me on him a little bit because he didn't really have much in his like in the movie or the show Winter Soldier and Captain America. So yeah, it was cool to see him come back, and he didn't change too much either. So yeah. Again, it was good. Yeah, I liked the themes and everything. It was different, so I appreciated that.
Okay.
It was ambitious. So
I'm gonna go with, for my score, for Chris's score, I'm gonna go 7.2.
7.2.
Little low. I did feel the time of the movie being. It's only a little over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 6 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been an hour and 45 minutes and been fine. But, you know, anyway, for my own score, 7.2. A little low. And I think just because it wasn't amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It did some things that were unique, and it does deserve, recognition for that. And so, yeah, I'm just going to lob it in there with a 7.2.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was like kind of juggling. I was kind of like, is it a low 7 or like a high 7? And I kind of went with the high 7. Didn't want to go with medium because I feel like it had to do with it taking such a big leap.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it needed to either be, did it make the landing or did it miss the landing? I feel like it made it, so
yeah,
that's why I went a little bit higher.
Yeah, overall I think it for sure did. But let's not just take our own opinions.
Yeah. What?
Start with IMDb.
Okay. IMDb. Fine, sure. What did they think of this movie? This is a point system?
It's a point.
All right. Let's hear it.
Well, I need you to guess it first.
All right.
I'm not going to just tell you.
So, let's see. Maybe would they have really... So, it's kind of... I think whether or not this will make me think about the other one after how they like it, but... I think maybe go around the middle, like a 7.5.
Very close.
Very close.
7.7.
Oh,
solid for like Marvel they're finding their feet after
Yeah, a little
after
dry
long
spell.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
7.7. That's decent.
Yeah.
And let's go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. We got 2 of them. Which one do you want to attempt at guessing first? The popcorn meter or tomato?
Critics are the
critics. All right. So the tomato meter. What are you guessing? They got a percentage out of 100.
All right. Now I'm gonna think that they didn't like it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say they went like 6.8.
6.8
or
so
68. Sorry, you just told me as a percentage.
Well, surprisingly, way off actually.
Okay, let's hear it.
Tomato meter again. Kind of on a hot streak, I guess. After watching Sinners, they liked this Thunderbolts movie. Gave it an 88%.
Oof, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a big turnaround. Okay, 88%.
88% from the critics, and then the popcorn meter. The audience scores.
Let me guess this one.
All right.
92%.
Ooh, dang.
Oh shit.
right there at a 94.
Oh wow, okay. That's good to know that the audience is loving this movie.
They are absolutely loving this.
They are loving it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are happy with movies right now, which is interesting.
There's a nice little run right now going on.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Movies are coming back.
Yeah, and I walked out of both, because we watched Sinners last week and then Thunderbolts this week, and Thunderbolts did a good job for itself, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Thunderbolts, come on. You're doing it. And so you were at 7.8, so you were right there with IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I was way off of everybody. I'm the one that doesn't.
You were a little less impressed, but I also see that as well.
Mm-hmm. But people like it. But are they going to the movies to see it? Let's take a look.
Yes, probably. Well, maybe after. I'm assuming only recently did people start going. See, I'm pretty sure they weren't as drawn to it immediately, but maybe a little bit after the release, then they started.
What also just came out too.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've had a week. Have they had a weekend yet? No. This is going to be their.
This is their. Yeah.
Okay, so a midweek opening, so that's not bad. We went late, real late. We had
the last showing in the night. There was basically 2 groups,
a row of people.
Yeah, a full row, like a family went or something. Yeah, a group of friends.
They seemed to like it. I heard them laughing a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It was a little bit quieter this time, but yeah.
All right. So let's look at the numbers here. It opened to a solid 76 million domestically and 86.2 million internationally. So for a combined haul of $161.2 million. So that's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying that the film was $180 million to produce it. So has a little ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should make its money and should be pretty successful.
Seems like it's on track, especially with these reviews, man. Yeah, for sure, people are probably.
Yeah. So what do you think Marvel fans should feel? They should feel like they should be heading into the theaters, or should they be catching it later on? What do you think?
I think it's time to see it. I think that if you're on the fence about it and you do like Marvel, this is a good time to check it out. I mean, it's kind of like a risk. I'm sure it was for them to make it, because again, it's all these side characters essentially moving in to fill in these big shoes. But I think this did a good job. These last few movies actually have done a pretty good job at trying to sell you on them. So I think it's worth checking it out. Then you'll find out if you like it or not, if you enjoy this style or the tones of these movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are doing something new and fresh, I think, with these movies. So I think it's going in a good direction. And yeah, if you're willing to take a risk with Marvel, these movies are a good ones to jump in with.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking in the horizons that we saw previews for Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I think, because I know a little bit of what's to come with that as well. I think that it is cool. yeah, it's gonna definitely lead into some pretty interesting stories later on and characters coming in. So,
so at least they have some. The interest is there. For
yeah,
so that's good.
They got a path for what we're gonna see. So I think it's worth investing the time into.
All right, so Daniel, final thoughts.
Yeah.
You recommending this movie to people? Are you not recommending it?
Yeah, I recommend it. You know, it is definitely better than like that whole dry time where, you know, like there's kind of stinker after stinker and like, you know, just nothing was landing. But I think these are definitely trying to be outliers, and yeah, I think it's worth it. Definitely check it out. It's got my approval for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I'd recommend it as well because, like, yeah, they got a lot of characters that are interesting and, like, there's a good story to them. They're not like the legends that came before them, but I think with all their ragtag groups, like both for, like, Captain America's new group and this Thunderbolts group, I think, like, them button heads and working together maybe in the future is going to be for an interesting movie, I think, down the line. So I think they're setting up the pieces just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend it as well.
Cool.
All right.
Huge. Yeah, cool. No spoilers? No spoilers? Spoilers? Well, no spoilers?
Well, stay past the
Credits.
ending scenes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got two.
Yeah, they got a mid credit and a post credit scene. Yeah. So definitely stay for those. You definitely really want to stay for those. Yeah. It seemed like everybody in our theater did not stay, so they missed out on that.
Oh, we should have said that for Sinners too.
Oh yeah.
That's like the real.
If anybody's gonna watch our other review about Sinners, make sure you stay for those post credit scenes as well.
Yeah, go back and watch all our reviews and
yeah.
See if you agree or what. You got to really drop in the comments what you rate these movies because we just need to know if we're on track, you know, in your mind.
Yeah. Are we too kind or are we too...
Yeah, I think you're a little kind.
Yeah?
No, just kidding.
Yeah, is that right?
I just like...
I hate it.
All right, well, that was Thunderbolts. I've been Chris.
And I've been Daniel. Wah.